Alright guys, today I'm going to be talking about God of War Ragnarok. I know that many of you have been enjoying this game over the past week or so. I have as well. Now I will let you know right up front that I have not completed God of War Ragnarok yet, although I have a feeling I'm very close to getting to the end, and I've certainly made it far enough in the game that I have to talk about some stuff with you guys. So this is your spoiler warning. If you don't want anything regarding God of War Ragnarok spoiled for you, I would definitely tune out of this video. Now, please be respectful because I have not yet completed this game. I am about, I think, 3/4 complete. But yeah, I definitely wanted to take some time here to give my thoughts on it. This is not my full and final review, although I have a feeling if I do a final review of God of War Ragnarok, it's not going to be much different than this. But then again, it also depends on exactly how this game ends. So maybe we could consider this like a part 1 review or an impressions video, whatever you want to call it. But first and foremost, when it comes to the story of God of War Ragnarok, I'm finding that this is easily the standout component of this game. This is what is driving me to just want to constantly play this game and not put down the DualSense, and I'm finding it difficult to kind of do the things that I have to do on a daily basis without just my mind going back to, man, I just want to get back to playing Ragnarok. That's why I haven't actually beaten the game yet, because you know, I have everyday things I have to get done, and the story is pretty long, I'm finding, but I'm also noticing that there is quite a bit of side content, and I don't know what it is this time around compared to playing God of War 2018, but the game just feels bigger. This game feels colossal. I mean, God of War 2018 was already a very, very big game. Some people would say that's as AAA as it gets, but somehow, some way, Santa Monica Studio has found a way to make this game just feel bigger and better in pretty much every way. Now, obviously, there are certain things they do within the game to really facilitate this, and so the first couple hours of the game in particular, I mean, they just, you know, they drop you into this game and you are on a roller coaster ride of emotion, and there are just things happening. You're being attacked by Freya. You have to watch Atreus, you know, suffer the loss of Fenrir, which is immediately just very gripping, very sad. I think many people actually cried at, you know, that moment in the game, and it just happened so soon. And then immediately after that, you know, Kratos is looking for Atreus. He finds him, although you don't know you actually find him because you're fighting a bear, and you find out that Atreus can transform. You know, Kratos almost kills him. There's just so much going on. And then immediately after that, it transitions into the Thor boss fight where Santa Monica Studio decides to pull a little Hideo Kojima and break the fourth wall, making you think that you failed a QTE and Thor killed you. But no, actually, Thor did kill Kratos, but he also brought him back to life, which is crazy. And so you have this intense boss battle, and then you meet Odin, and it's just so much within the first 2 hours of the game. And, you know, if you watched my live stream of this, or if you caught my podcast, you'll know that to me, this was just so well done by Santa Monica. I mean, you could tell with everything they crammed into the first couple hours of this game that they just wanted people to feel like they were on an insane ride with this game, and it just gets off to such a hot start. Now, it does obviously slow down quite dramatically when you transition into the rest of the game, because, you know, it has to. It can't stay at that speed, that breakneck pace the whole time. Of course, it would burn out too quickly. But talking about some of the other major points of the game, specifically the story, the fact that you can play as Atreus. Now, this unfortunately was something that was spoiled for me before I got to play the game. Luckily, though, I had no idea just how much you would be playing as Atreus in this game. And I've played as him, I think, about 3 times total now, which is crazy to me because, you know, I was like, okay, it makes sense that there's going to be maybe a section of the game where maybe something happens to Kratos, or, you know, you get separated and you have to play this section as Atreus, I did not expect him to essentially be like a full-blown second playable character that you upgrade in the whole 9 yards. That was quite a shock to me, and I'm sure it was a shock to many other people as well. And I actually really, really like that they did this, because not only does it just completely change up the feel of God of War Ragnarok compared to God of War 2018. I mean, Atreus has a completely different moveset. He just controls completely differently from Kratos, and it just feels very distinct. But it really, I think, also helps the story as well, because I think a lot of people maybe were afraid that, okay, you know, God of War 2018 was us basically following Kratos and Atreus the whole time, and they pretty much didn't really get separated at all, at least not in any major significant way throughout the entire story of that game. And so, you know, I think people were thinking, okay, I guess we can expect the same thing this time. And actually, that's not what Santa Monica did at all. But on top of that, you also have other companions throughout the game as well. For example, there's a point where you make amends with Freya as Kratos, and she basically becomes your new Atreus, where she's your new companion. And, you know, when you're playing as Atreus, you get your own companion with Angerboda, and at one point, you were actually, a companion with Thor, or Thor was your companion, I should say. And that to me was just like, what is happening here right now, right? So that's about as far as I am in the game. I'm at the part where you're in Midgard with Kratos and Freya, and I don't know how much more of the game I have left. I don't know if I'm like really behind or not, but so many crazy things have happened in the game so far. Obviously, where I'm at right now, we're hearing that, or at least Atreus is learning that Kratos is apparently going to die, and you know, Atreus is very focused on making sure that doesn't happen. But I mean, this is where things get kind of crazy, right? Where I have no idea which direction the story's going to go in, because now Atreus is basically helping Odin, and you have to assume Odin is tricking him, right? You have to assume that Odin is trying to get him to do something for him, to betray him. But Atreus thinks that he's going to be able to outsmart Odin or fool him, and it's just a lot going on. And this is, I gotta say, like, this is what I expected in terms of when Santa Monica said, after all the trailers and footage we've seen prior to the game's launch, when they said that you haven't seen anything yet, I believe them. I really did. I kept saying that I think this game is just going to be so much bigger and so much more surprising in so many different ways than maybe we expect, and it is living up to that, absolutely, for me. So I know that I pretty much spent, you know, the entirety of this video so far kind of just talking about the story and breaking down everything that I've seen of the game so far up until this point. But other aspects of the game that I'm thoroughly enjoying, I kind of alluded to it earlier a little bit, is the side content is very, very well done. I mean, we kind of heard a prominent reviewer, saying that, you know, they haven't experienced side quests that were this engaging and this well done since The Witcher 3. And yeah, that is definitely a standout of this game, as I do find that the side quests are just as interesting and engaging as the main story content. Now, obviously, the main story content will always have that slight edge, because it's leading to the what I assume to be the definitive conclusion of the game, or of the Norse saga here. But yeah, the side content is definitely a standout. I feel like the only weak spot of the game so far for me, and I feel like this is actually a common complaint, is definitely the menu system and the way it's handled. It's not the easiest menu system to use. It's not the most complicated, but I just feel like it's not as streamlined as it could be. And I frequently find myself just kind of getting a little bit overwhelmed by the way it's laid out and all of the different things going on with it, to the point where I'm just like, I frequently feel like I'm doing the bare minimum to just try to upgrade Kratos and make sure that I can stand a chance against, you know, the incoming enemies. But, you know, maybe I just have to spend more time with it. But to me, that's really the only weak point of the game when it comes to like enemy variety, when it comes to upgrading your weapons, like the axe and the blades of chaos. That's all there. That's all diverse. There's a lot on offer. There's enough there to keep you going for certainly, you know, 14, 15, 16 hours. I think that's how far I am in the game right now. And there's still plenty to unlock, plenty to do. And so, yeah, I'm really loving this game so far. But just to kind of conclude this video, I want to say that the thing that I'm just so captivated by right now, and I really just want to highlight this, is this story of this game and just how well it's done so far. I mean, this to me is what it's all about. You know, this is what is at the heart of single player gaming in 2022, right? And what is at the heart of single player gaming specifically with PlayStation, where people sometimes wonder, like, you know, why are you such a fan of PlayStation Studios? Why are you, you know, always cheering on their games and always so hyped for their games? And like, this is exactly why. I really don't know what else to say other than like, the proof is in the pudding right here. You know, this is what it is all about. This is what all the hype is about. This is why we follow these games. This is why we get so excited at new game announcements. This is why we're always so eager to know like what these studios are working on next, because this is what we get when the game is finished and when it's released. And so, yeah, those are my thoughts as of right now on God of War Ragnarok. I know this video is a little bit messy, but I just kind of, you know how I am, guys. I just like to shoot from the hip, and I just wanted to turn on my mic, talk about the game, give my thoughts on it so far. And, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably going to avoid the comment section of this video just because I am afraid that people might try to spoil the rest of what's about to happen for me before I complete it. So, you know, leave your comments when I do complete the game. I will come back and read them, certainly. And I will very likely give you guys an update video, you know, a part 2, I guess you could say, of, you know, my thoughts on God of War Ragnarok once I'm fully complete. So there you go. Be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I will read them eventually. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.